Geometry 159, making a drawing for a given and a proof. One of the hardest things to do when you're doing a proof or doing your homework is it'll say, you make the drawing, we're not giving you one. So I'm going to show you some little hints and tips and tricks to help you make that drawing. All you have to do is look at the given and the thing you're supposed to prove, and it'll give you clues on what the drawing is supposed to look like. So let's look at this one. It says ray AB is tangent to circle P at point X. So are we dealing with triangles? No. Do you know what a tangent is? If you don't, you need to look it up. So we know we've got a ray, a tangent, a circle, P as the center point of the circle, and a point X. So the first thing we know we can do is to draw the circle, okay? And we know that it's going to have a center point P. So we know that much already, see? A tangent is a line or a ray that goes across the outer edge on the circumference, okay? So if we've got a ray, it's going to have a point on one side and the arrow tip on the other. And we know that this is going to be ray AB. Look how far we've gotten already. At point X, AB is tangent to circle P at point X. So this is where this tangent hits the edge of the circle, so that's got to be X. The proof says that line PX, so there's a line there now, is perpendicular to AB. Look at that. Doesn't it look like that drawing fits that? It sure does. Let's try this one. Given. Line AB is parallel to DC. And AD is parallel to BC. So it looks like we have ABCD. And these are parallel and these are parallel. Well, either it's going to be a rectangle or it's going to be a parallelogram. One or the other. Okay, my parallels aren't doing that great right here. This is supposed to be parallel to this. My drawings are off. Okay, so it's going to be one of these two. Alright? And then as you're doing the proof, you'll be able to figure out which one it is, because these have 90-degree angles and these don't. So look at it. It says AX is congruent to CX. Where's X? And DX is congruent to BX. Now, another way you can tell is, what have you been working on in class? Have you been working on parallelograms? Then it's a parallelogram. If you've been working on rectangles, chances are it's a rectangle. That's how teachers work. So, either or, if there is a point X, let's put the ABCD in, okay? So, let's say this is A, this is B, this is C, and this is D. Because we're not sure if it's a rectangle or a parallelogram yet. Either way, they will be parallel to each other. See, AB, this one, is parallel to DC. See this one? In a rectangle, it's also parallel to DC. And AD, this side one, is parallel to BC. So we're not sure which one it is. So, we're going to try both. You need to prove that line AX, is congruent to CX. AX is congruent to CX. You know what I would say? I would say we're dealing with diagonals and midpoints. Line DX is congruent to BX. Now, if it was a parallelogram and it said that AX is congruent to DX, then you know it's a rectangle. Because on a parallelogram, AX is way shorter than DX. But it doesn't say AX and DX. It says DX and BX. So they're going across this way, completely stopping at the X, see? So chances are your drawing is going to be one or the other, and you're going to be able to figure it out as you go along. Plus, like I said, base it on what were you covering before the test came up. Were you covering parallelograms? And chances are it's a parallelogram. What if you were given this and it said triangle ABC is an isosceles triangle and A is the vertex? Prove triangle ACX is congruent to triangle ABX. Well, it tells you right there. It's an isosceles triangle. Okay? And A is the vertex. That must be B, and that must be C. You need to prove that ACX, I don't see an X, is congruent to ABX. Knowing proofs, you probably have to do this. You need to show that this triangle in here is congruent to this triangle in here. So chances are you need to put a line down the center to the midpoint, and that's where X is. Because why else would it have the X there? So it's not foolproof, but if you don't overthink it and you take it a step at a time, the given and the proof are going to help you figure out what the drawing's supposed to be. And they're not going to test you on something that you didn't cover or that you weren't supposed to cover. So keep up with your homework, pay attention, and you should be fine. See you next time.